Welcome. This is the second episode or the second live broadcast of the eTrumpet Lessons Christmas Music Trumpet Challenge. And if you're just joining me here for the first time and you're thinking, what the heck's this guy talking about? What's this trumpet music challenge that he speaks of? The Trumpet Music Challenge, in a nutshell, is find a piece of music, work it up, practice it, polish it, make it the best you can do, and perform it sometime before Christmas. Now, we are 5 days right now in front of Christmas Eve. So it's definitely time. It's the season. Hopefully, you've got the Christmas spirit already. Even though you're late, I'm going to invite you to join along. As soon as you sign up for that, you're going to get an email with a link to immediate access to the inside page of the Trumpet Music Challenge. Jumping right in. So I mentioned there are 3 songs that you might be working on. The first one is Joy to the World. There's actually 2 versions of Joy to the World, and that's the first 2 that we're going to be talking about. The easy version consists of mostly quarter notes and half notes. So it's really, really easy to read. So hopefully you're not struggling with that one. A couple of things, though, that you can do in addition to playing the right notes at the right time. And what am I talking about? Well, a lot of new trumpet players, beginning trumpet players, they say, well, I played all the notes. I didn't miss anything. It was perfect. It doesn't get any better than that, right? Well, a couple of things. Yeah, it can, right? There's a difference between playing the right notes at the right time and actually making music that somebody wants to listen to. So let me give you an example of how you can use dynamics and solid articulation to really make that trumpet sound sing out. If I don't use anything, I'm just playing this plain, I'm going to try to play it like a new or developing trumpet player. 2, 3, 4. Okay, what did you notice? I played it slow. Anything wrong with that? Not a problem, right? Slow is fine. But it didn't sound really flat. Not much excitement, not much feeling or expression behind that. What I'm going to ask you to do, and this is sometimes a challenge for new and beginning players, is to really get that big breath and blow that air through the trumpet. Think about what this song is. It's joy to the world, the Lord has come, right? I'm no expert on the Bible, so don't let me preach to you here. But I believe the message is the angels come down and they're announcing to the world the good news, right? Not just good news, it's great news. And it's not, okay, here I have something to tell you. It's, no, we're shouting this out to the world. That's how I want you to capture this on your trumpet. So a big sound, number one. The second thing is try to use a hard articulation with your tongue. What do I mean by that? A soft articulation is if your tongue is just da, 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 like kind of lazy. What I want you to do is put that tongue to the roof of your mouth, build up some pressure behind that tongue, and then release it. So it's more of a ta, ta, like a breath behind the consonant T or the consonant D sound. Da, da. So if I use a big sound and strong articulation, same tempo, same song, it's going to sound. Right? Big difference there between that one and what I played previously, right? This time I'm announcing it, right? So that's the song, that's the feeling that I'm going to ask you to capture with your song. Now, one other thing that's going to make your song a little bit artistic and interesting for people to listen to is contrast. The contrast can be between anything, but in this case, I'm talking about dynamics, loud sound versus soft sound. So you're starting off on this song with a really loud sound, announcing the good news. And then you get to that part where it goes, and heaven and nature sing, where it's. This is a part just for musical interest. You can bring the volume of that down a little bit. So when you bring the volume down, you're drawing your listener in. They're like, wait, what? I just realized I don't need this right now, I don't think, but I might bring that back in a second. When you play your second phrase, and then this is the part where you bring it back again. Full on, big, powerful sound for the strong finish. All right? Pretty simple, straightforward. That's all I'm going to say about this section right here. Now, if you're working on the other version of Joy to the World, the more traditional version, this is the one that has the dotted eighth note plus 16th note. Same thing applies, right? It's the same song, the same style. Big sound at the beginning, hard tongue attacks. This one is actually using the dotted eighth plus the 16th. So I'm going to ask you to put a little bit of a space between those to help make that articulation speak, and then make a fast note between that 16th note to the following quarter note. And I'm talking about just the first measure to the second measure. So, right. Those are the most important notes right there. That's the big grand entrance of your song. So not, no, be really, really deliberate. You know how it goes. That's the song. That's the spirit that I'd like you to capture. The other part of, and then please keep in mind what I just mentioned about the changing dynamics. When you get to the heaven and nature sync, you can bring it soft again. And then bring it out loud for the big finish. Okay. Now, if you're playing this song and you've already signed up for the challenge, you received an email from me a couple of days ago with links to actual play-along tracks or backing tracks that you can use to accompany you on this. If that's the version you choose to use, if for your performance, if you choose to use that backing track, a couple of things that's going to be different about that one. First of all, you have to keep up a steady tempo, right? You've just got to follow that. Treat the backing track like you might listen to a metronome. Just tick, 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 tick. I think, what have I got? The 93 beats a minute on that one. Not that that's really important. Just listen to it. The other thing that you're going to hear on that music is it's got I'm going to play it for you a little bit, hopefully, and this isn't going to be really clear. I've got to play it for you through external speakers, but take a listen for a second. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's the introduction. There's 4 ticks that just gives you that tick, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 4 measures or 8 beats of introductory music. So don't try to come in right then. Wait for those 4 beats, and you're going to count it. If you're counting in 2/4 time, 4 measures. So you're going to go 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Bum, bum, ba-dum, right? That's your start. So let's listen to this one more time, what it's going to sound like from the beginning. I got the wrong one, sorry. 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3. All right. And that's how that goes. I think you're not going to have any trouble once you start listening to it once or twice. Then at the very end, you're going to play this all the way through. Rather than a fermata that you're going to hold at the very end, you're actually just going to let the backing track continue and play that song out for you. I'm going to bump it out to scroll to the end. Sorry. That's the end of your song. All right? Now I want to transition over to the next song. The other song is "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." Remember I said we're doing a little bit of a dry run for our presentation on Saturday for that platform where people can join us live. So as a test, I've invited Eric from Canada to join me here. And I'm going to bring in Eric right now, and we'll talk about a couple of things here. But he's been working on this one. And he's going to be here in just a second. There you are. So you've been working on "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," yeah?
Yes.
How do you feel it's been going for you?
Well, I'm a very beginner in trumpet, so it's going not that bad. But if I try to play it for someone else, then the stress gives me a lot of problems, and the sound does not always come out as it should. So it's I don't know how it's gonna sound for the recital, but it's a good practice for the stress.
So you're talking more about the stress of performing live as opposed to some particular technique that you've got. Is this right?
Yes, but if I'm looking about the technique, one thing I made was add an extra breath sign at one place, and one for the rhythm, for the articulation. That's not the problem. The mistakes I make are not always on the same place every time I try it. But if I want to do some dynamics, then I'm limited because I'm not very good at that. In particular, playing soft is the hardest for me.
Playing soft. Okay. Is that all the time, or just is that especially when you feel like you're nervous when you're going to play in front of somebody?
All the time.
All the time. All right. Well, so we'll talk about that, because I'm glad you brought that up, because that dynamic contrast is one of the things that you can do to sort of make the music more interesting. When we talk about this song, the "O Come All Ye Faithful," for the most part, it's pretty straight. There's only one place where I've lowered or at least in the version that I gave you, where I've lowered the dynamics, the dynamic section. I'm sorry, two places. The place where it's the "O Come Let Us Adore Him." I need to practice, right? Oh, teach me to read the music. Okay, so it starts off loud. Right? Then when you get to that next section, that's where you can bring the dynamic way down, almost as soft as you can play it. So Eric, do you want to try running through that? Let me hear just a little bit of what this song sounds like for you.
Yes, it's going to be a good practice.
All right. And one thing I can tell you in advance is, in order to make the soft, even though playing soft is hard, so I'll say that right up front, it's easier to play loud than it is to play soft. Softly, using the adverb, right? So start off playing extra loud, like a little bit louder than you're normally comfortable with. And that way, when you get to the softer part, even though it may not be quite as soft as you'd like to get it, it's going to be at least softer than what the loud part was. So we can hopefully hear the difference. All right? Let's hear what you got. Good. That's a good, strong sound right now. It sounds great.
Okay.
All right. Let's jump to the part where it drops down to the piano. You see that? So the third line, or the pickups into measure 13.
I think it's the part.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll try it.
Okay. Good. Okay. So I heard a couple of things there. Nice job on bringing that volume down. It really came through. That's one thing that I don't hear a lot of times, sometimes on the internet, is, the internet, playing audio through, everything tends to be all squished down to one dynamic level. But I heard that for you, and it sounded really nice. One thing to keep in mind, though, is when you start, you took a big breath to support that really big sound, right? A big, strong sound, and that worked really well for you. You've got to remember also to take this just as big a breath even when you're playing softer. You take a big breath, you're not pushing it through as fast as when you're playing super loud, but you still got that support. So think about driving a car. You've got a full tank of gas, you push that accelerator down and it goes really fast. Think about filling your car full of gas, but just pressing that accelerator down a little bit, right? It's still got the potential to go fast, but you're going to pull it down a little bit. So try that one more time, just at that spot. See if you can take a good big breath. Right, so you've got a full, down in this area, you're feeling really big and full. One more time, try just in that section. Good. Hang on. Try it one more time. You got a little bit of a timid start, so push a little bit more air through there. Like I said, playing softly is harder than playing loud, but I'll tell you, I'll suggest don't let your quality, right? Don't let the quality of your sound suffer because you're trying to play it softer. Better to play it a little bit too loud and sound good than play it soft but not really quite there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, try one more time. Just a little bit more air pushing through there. Better. Yeah. So when you played it like that, those notes were sounding solid, right? I could hear them. You weren't losing, the tone. It wasn't dropping out on you. So just that big breath and just push that air through slowly. Does it sound like something will work for you?
It's good advice. I'll try that. I'll see if I can manage to do something good with that.
Always easier said than done, right? Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say?
It's a good explanation. Very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure.
Wondering what I'm going to be able to do with that.
Right. And I'll say right up front, if it was easy as just explaining it, everybody would be an expert trumpet player, right? It takes practice, but that's what it comes down to. Keep in mind, big air, but when you're playing soft, make sure you're putting enough air through there, you're still getting a good tone through your trumpet. Okay. And playing soft is infinitely harder than playing loud. Right? It's really hard to control that. So just get really steady, get consistent. And when you have control, let's say if there's a volume scale, 1 to 10, no, let's move it up to 11. But if there's 1 to 10 and you're playing good at a volume 4, but when you try to go down to 3, you start losing that, just play as consistently as you can and just see if you can start gradually working down toward that softer volume. But the whole time keeping the dynamics, the mechanics good, right? Don't sacrifice the mechanics for a softer tone. Right?
Thank you very much.
Great. Well, thank you, Eric, for joining me on this one. And I'm going to move you down back to the lobby here. And so, folks, you can see exactly how that will work on Saturday. So this Saturday is when I'm going to invite people to come online with me live, just like Eric did today, and have the opportunity to play their Christmas carol and do their performance in the warm glow of the internet. So I hope you will join me on Saturday. If you would like to do that, please, you're going to have to contact me first so I can give you like a special link to join me in the back room. And if you're already signed up to the Trumpet Challenge, the Trumpet Music Challenge, you're going to be hearing from me. And you can reply to my email. Just let me know, yeah, Brett, I'd like to join you on Saturday. You can just email me directly if you like at toot@etrumpetLessons.com. Toot, T-O-O-T, toot@etrumpetLessons.com. Email me. Let me know you'd like to join me on Saturday. What time is it? Saturday, the presentation will be 10 o'clock Pacific. What's that? 1 o'clock Eastern time. 1 o'clock Eastern time this Saturday. I thought I had that linked up here. Anyway, what else have I got to say about the O Come All Ye Faithful? Oh, the backing track. Really quickly, because we'll wrap this up. The backing track on O Come All Ye Faithful. This one does not have a little click in front of it. The first sound that you hear in the accompaniment is actually going to be beat 4. So imagine it's bum, 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 right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You're going to have 4 measures rather of introduction. And then the trumpet comes in on beat 4. So take a listen. Not yet. In 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, now. So hopefully that makes sense. You heard that 4 bars of introduction, and then you come in on beat 4 O, come, right, 4, 1, 2. That's your first F that you come in on. The other thing about this one, lots of air. This one is tough to breathe on. So in the music that I've given you, I've written in some phrase marks or some breath marks. The key on that one is take a big breath when you can. Don't be late on the beat following the breath mark. If you've got to cut something short just in order to take that breath, that's fine. But don't be late on the following note. Okay. Outside of that, we talked about the dynamics. And at the end of that backing track, at the end of that play along, you're going to not retard. So in the music that I've given you, there's a little RIT abbreviation toward the end of it that says retard. That means slow down. But if you're playing with the backing track, the track doesn't slow down. So you're just going to play right on through that. When you get that final F, instead of a fermata, just hold it for 4 notes and then let the backing track complete the song for you. There's a little conclusion of that the accompaniment includes. Okay, so to wrap it up, you have 5 days till Christmas Eve to complete this challenge. We are going to be here live on Saturday. Please email me if you'd like to participate. If you'd like to just watch, absolutely tune in on Saturday, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. Again, let me know if you'd like to join me, watch your emails and reply, or email me directly. Again, toot@etrumpetLessons.com. And if you don't want to do that, right, the goal of the challenge is just perform your music. And I'm going to say, like I always do, a performance can be whatever you would like it to be. If you want to play at church, absolutely fantastic. Arrange that. If you want to go out on the street corner and play for the busy shoppers as they're winding down their Christmas season, fantastic. If you want to play it for friends and family at home by the fireside, great. Play it for, as I say, the elf on the shelf at home. If that's your audience, so be it. Just perform something and let that be, right, this Christmas 2017, this is me performing my Christmas song. That's the Trumpet Challenge. As we wind down, if you don't already have the holiday spirit, the Christmas spirit, I really encourage you to let music push you and nudge you toward that direction. It's a fantastic time to hear a lot of amazing music. And I don't care if you live in a small town or a big town, there's going to be some musical performances live that you can go to. There's some amazing recorded music, of course. My personal favorite is brass quintet, brass ensemble. I love that Canadian brass Christmas stuff. So whatever you choose to like, even if it's not trumpet, just listen to that music. Let it absorb into your heart, right? It is Christmas. So allow music to play that role. Good luck with that. Merry Christmas, everyone. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Take care then. Bye-bye.